at Brian's Creek at the moment, where I'm just noodling for topaz. So I'm not digging, I'm just scratching around and noodling. So far that's what I found. One big one, probably about 15 to 20 carats, and one tiny small one. And that one's got a hint of blue actually, but it's sort of water worn topaz, and the other one still got a crystal form even though it's tiny and small. So that over there in the center is the O'Brien Creek, or the center of O'Brien's Creek, and I'm just working the sides. Someone has dug here before behind this rock, this big boulder. Maybe they found something, that's why they dug such a big hole and moved a lot of materials. If it's me, I wouldn't be working on this side unless, of course, he found something there on top. The most likely spot I'd be working on or scratching around is in front of that tree. So the water is flowing down into it, so same thing. You have something that's stopping the flow of water, and any topaz or quartz would be at the front of it. That would be the drop zone at the front of the base of that tree. Same as this one. This is only a small tree, but it'll be the same thing. So it would be a massive big flood to be able to push all, so just all sand at the front of that. So sand, and about a couple of meters away from the base of the tree are all these big dumps of rocks. And of course, where the big rocks are, that's where the most likely spot for the topaz as well. So anyway, so this is chalcedony, and we're not taking that, we'll leave that there. And also a lot of quartz. Where the quartz are is most likely the drop zone or the base of it. So if I am going to sieve and work this creek, the most likely chance of finding topaz would be on an area like this. And the small piece I've got, I found just on the base of that tree, right there, where all the small gravelies are. And at the front here, nothing yet. I only found quartz crystals. So I'm just gonna have a scratch around here to see if I can pull out a bigger topaz. The bigger one, or the bigger piece that I've got so far, I found over on that skinny tree, the base of that. So I've just scratched around. You can see hardly move anything, so it's just tucked in behind a rock. So the idea is to just go around, and I really hope I find a topaz here while I've got the camera on. Anyway, sometimes they don't cooperate. Topaz or gemstones, they get camera shy. Okay, so I'm just scratching around. All I have is a pick, I don't have a sieve. But looking for drop zone, anything that they might get tucked in. But good indicators is once I see some quartz like this, I get really excited. So that's where most likely, if there's any topaz floating around in the flood, they would go together. So they tend to hang around each other. And again, I don't know if I'm going to find one here, but so you get the idea. And again, tucked in corners like this, I like to check. A lot of times they just sit on top, like the quartz, like this. They just sit in the corner, feel like nooks and crannies. Anyway, but be careful just in case there's little insects or whatever, lizards living in it. Okay, so quartz again. Hang on. That's quartz. Why can't it be topaz? Hey, hang on. Oops. See, again, big quartz. So hopefully there's topaz. So we'll scratch around here, break that through, and so we're not really digging, we're just scratching around. Okay, just make sure there's no critters. Okay, if after spending a couple of minutes in an area I don't find anything, I move on to the next spot because the sweat is pouring off my face. Okay. Whew. Look, I got sweat on my glasses. Jeez, it's hot. Someone has scratched around in this area because of this big boulder. So when the water gets dumped, you can see how high the flood or the water is when it rains here in this area. And someone scratched around it and all big rocks on the top. And maybe he found something on top, we don't know. This is too open for me. Well, normally I would probably scratch in there as well, but if I find something, but normally I don't, because I prefer to be in that area there where just like a depression. So the lowest point is where the washing machine tumbled, the vortex of the wash is going to be. But anyway, I'm just going to see, and I don't see any quartz here. There is some quartz there. See that quartz? But this is on an incline. Dead butterfly. Anyway, I find over the years that topaz likes to tuck into little corners like that. This is where I found them. And little things that you move. So if there's any quartz, that's a good indication. Now going down to the bottom, we follow it anyway. Here, little nooks and crannies, and scratching around like that. Is that quartz? No, it's just a rock, but that is. But normally I find a clear quartz, then I find topaz. Okay, but anyway, nothing. Okay. I continue. Oops. Is that a topaz or quartz? See? Maybe it's a topaz. It looks like a topaz to me, a bad one, but anyway. We'll leave that there, but I think it's just quartz. I get really excited when I see quartz like this. It's sort of a bad quartz, but still there's a clear corner. So, but that one, the way that's fractured, is not topaz, it's quartz. But anyway, we put that behind me. I am right in front of this tree. One of the biggest trees that's here, and there's two of them next to each other. And this is what the ground looks like. So there's some loose sand. Even you can see on the base of the tree there, the flood. Now it's covered by, whatchamacallit, leaves. Anyway, in here I can see quartz. See quartz? I like it when I see quartz like that. Pretty quartz. And is that a quartz as well? Hang on. Yeah. No. Okay. So anyway, if I am going to dig and sieve, this is the area I would be going into. And then you see this wash. Again, you see quartz like that. That's what I like. Now, lots of leaves. And hopefully, when I rake this, I find a topaz right before your very eye. But then, if I don't, we try on the next area. I am in the mother lode drop zone area where you got big boulders like those ones. Look at that in front of me. Up ahead, trees. And it drops, the water drops here, so chances are if there's any topaz, they are all going to fall into all these cracks and crevices around the rocks and boulders around here, which as far as I can see no one has been scratching around before. So far, by the way, I also got a tree on the left hand side, but it's got a big boulder at the front. So again, the water would flow over any rocks, get swirled around and push around into these rocks. And if I've got a crowbar, I would move these rocks, but we're not going to do that. We're only noodling. So far I got one in this corner here. which is, hang on, this smaller one. Okay, and then not far from it on this right hand side where I can reach it, as I was putting my quartz collection on top, I found another one scratching just right there. That's just where it's sat. So anyway, I'm gonna work this area, working the edges first up to see what topaz might be laying around. I have scraped off about a couple of inches, and then now I find this, only a small topaz. See, here's a small one. Anyway, that's not quartz because of the cleavage. Can you see the cleavage plane, the shiny part where it breaks off? Now I'm gonna have to do a demolition work. I have to get rid or go through this wash here. So from the corner of that big rock down to where my pick is and to my foot. So I can't have the camera on, so here I go. After my demolition work, so I started at about 10:30 to now 3:20. Those are just quartz crystals, smoky and white quartz, and a couple of black tin crystals actually. And then so these are all the topaz that I found for today. So I've had enough. I'm gonna go back to camp now and have a nice cold drink.